Here we are with another Friday Night Live. And it's July 30th, 2021. Another beautiful day in the greater TO. As soon as we enter August, which will be this weekend, the nights start getting cooler. Last night was very cool. And it's a wonderful thing. Let's see if this thing's working. Got to make sure. Oh, I'm unplug my headphones. Maybe that'll help. All right, looks like it's working. Let's wait a few minutes, see if anybody is living and loving it. Where are we here? It's getting more and more interesting as time goes on. All the truth always becomes revealed. Just a matter of time. You can't hide the truth for forever. Where are we here? It's a great time to go inwards and look at our life and prepare for when we leave our body. So many people are fearful of death, but you know, this spacesuit, this physicality that we rented for a while here, we will have to leave it behind one day. And it's a very good time to go within and internalize and be right with our divine creator, because we're either in line with higher order or we're not. So if the challenge comes to be, what are you going to decide? Are you going to sell out, or are you going to do whatever it takes, no matter what, to live in light of divine higher order? This is a question only we can answer for ourselves. It's not may not be easy, because society is in a whole different path, especially modern societies. If we look at the people and races who live in nature, on the land, they're usually more in line with natural order, because the understanding is there when you're connected to the earth. When we move away from the earth, meaning in cities, concrete jungles, we get disconnected, and all hell breaks loose. Start doing things that are just self-destructive. You know, one example is nuclear power plants, something that man cannot contain or control, but they continue to build them. You know, there's many other examples. Continuously taking oil from the earth. The oil has to continuously make that. It's not the fossil fuel, as they say. The earth manufactures the oil through the fields. If you look at GANs making kits, when you're making CO2, for example, you'll see the oil film, that oily film on the surface of the water. And that's created through the fields. Having the right environments, you need air and you need salt water and certain elements to have an interchanging of the field, so the amino acid, fat, oily substance will be created. Our body does the same thing. Only the body can feed, hydrate, purge, build, balance, and heal itself through soul from source. Basic simplicity that, for the most part, people have a hard time with because we have not been guided or taught these things. We're always looking at the science behind things and who, what, where, when, why, how, which is all theory. It has nothing to do with the concepts of creation. Creation is complex but simple. It's as infinite. It's infinite in its knowledge, and it continuously expands. And we have all that within each and every one of us. We can connect very easily. And fasting, spiritual lifestyle. First and foremost, fasting is a spiritual lifestyle that will help us and guide us if we choose to live on that path of peace, balance, correct conduct. We can fast and not be spiritual at all. There has to be that emotion and intent and emotion to want to connect with divine source. Paula, hello. So I like keeping things simple. I was in the same scenario as everybody else, going down the path of looking out there and wanting to add this, that, and the other thing to fix all my problems. And I kept going down that path and kept getting more and more confused and always going towards that imbalanced direction, and kept scratching my head. If all these people, are claiming that they know, why isn't this stuff being able to sustain myself in a healthy path? And it was through a lot of trial and errors, and continuously asking the questions where the only answers I needed was Don't need to know. You don't need to know. When you trust in soul, you're trusting in divine creator. Because that's where the soul comes from and it's part of. That nothingness is where all the answers are. V equals P take away O, the art of subtraction. Arnold Ehret used those three simple letters to fundamentally change our understanding of where true health comes from. The art of subtraction. Just think about creator, creation, continuously giving. Doesn't stop. It continuously gives. Without fail. If it stopped, I think the universe would collapse. Universes. There's infinite universes. Our universe is just a speck in all the galaxies and universes. A speck of dust, a grain of sand. It's very interesting when we look up in the sky, in the night sky, when you see the stars in the city, you're not going to see many. When you go up away from the city, far away from the city lights, you can see how the beauty of all the stars shining. And we look at our ancestors, the brilliant ancestors, a lot of them, where did they look? They looked up to the stars, they went inwards. Going inwards, you have the same universes that are outwards. There's that thing we do with the palms pressing in the eyeballs very firmly, and you start seeing checkers. And if you keep it long enough, you start seeing all stars. It's just amazing. That's just able to go inwards and connect to those universes. Past 3+ decades, we've seen a lot of people come and go. Pretty much the same amount of people come and go. It's a very interesting path that I've chosen. Fasting lifestyle. It's not very popular. People are looking for drama, events, and all kinds of stuff that
Fast transformations.
you're gonna snap your fingers and take that magic pill or potion to fix all of your problems. When we go in our fasting modes, all those imbalances come to the surface, especially the emotional ones, and very, very difficult and challenging times for many people. And most people choose to put it aside and re-obstruct themselves so they don't have to deal with it. I've seen it over and over and over again. I guess I'm just stubborn and stubborn to want to know God. Because that sense of connection, it's like nothing else. Diets are futile. Nothing wrong with eating, but it's too much emphasis. Too much emphasis is put on eating and diets.
Yeah, especially the food as well today, the quality, but also the culture around food, right?
And many of us continuously focus on all the problems and without the vision of where we want to go, it's going to be very difficult on us. Very difficult. This COVID fraud has been something for all of us to reflect on. It's spiritual war. They're harvesting souls for Lucifer. Good old Lucifer. Let's elevate his soul to peace, balance, correct conduct. Because that energy comes from the same place where we all come from. And at any time, that free will could change and change directions. If there's enough support to elevate that soul.
Ultimately, it is really up to the source to give us that support. You know, but of course,
If there's no intent and emotion, he doesn't get involved.
Yeah, but
because of free will.
But ultimately, it's really up to the source. And so, what we, of course, it doesn't mean we're helpless when I say it's up to the source. In fact, it means you are actually empowered because what you can do is you can, you know, that the way is to be humble enough to ask source for guidance. So, and that is the ultimate, I believe that's the ultimate thing a human can do is the open their heart and ask source to assist. Right?
Exactly. Barbara, I am here with you now and chanting to be able to make the causes to show people love and strength and compassion for all beings, doing better and better with food and the lack. The lack of what do you mean by that, Barbara?
Less is more. Lack of something is when we appreciate it, I guess. In a way, you know, yeah. It's actually, you know, less is more is an abundance lifestyle because you get more.
Fasting.
Right, yeah. Less
Fasting is
more.
not lack. Fasting is where we tap into limitless abundance, limitless energy, limitless knowledge.
So yeah, you're right. It is lack of food, material stuff. Less is more, right?
The art of subtraction.
And it's true abundance.
How's the pain, Barbara, that you were mentioning on your leg, I think it was? Has that improved at all? Sometimes takes time, but you know what we've seen through many thousands of people.
I'm not missing food as I did before. Yeah, that's amazing.
Well, it's great because you just made the decision. Yes, awesome. We've seen, you know, people when they're doing long level 7s, you know, the 108. Pretty much everybody got rid of all their pains. Doesn't matter how long the pains were there, decades, you know, whatever. Pretty much everyone, it took anywhere between 60 to 90 days for those pains to dissipate and restore balance. You know, I remember that one fellow. He was everything in his whole skeletal structure was so out of whack. When he sat down, he couldn't sit on his bum. He was sitting on the bottom of the spine. It was so curved. And he didn't start releasing the real old stuff until like 60 days. And then everything started straightening out and he started freaking out emotionally. He couldn't handle it. I think he made it to like 90 days, but everything started straightening out on him. And this is something that emotionally is very, very, very challenging for people to comprehend, to have the understanding. Unless you've been fasting for a long time, over and over, eating and fasting, eating and fasting, eating and fasting. So you have the understanding through the experiences. It's very difficult to comprehend, and this is why we see so many people have challenges. But how many people do you see regularly in the MFS page? Just a handful. Most people are looking for those dramatic events to fix everything, and it's just gotten worse over the last 3+ decades of people taking charge of their health. I have faith in humanity that we are going to wake up as a whole and open up to the divine creator and peace, balance, correct conduct. I don't understand what was hard for him.
Emotionally?
The emotions that came to the surface, which were the causes of the bone structure being out of whack that much. There's a lot of emotions buried, and a lot of people don't like discussing things emotionally. They like to hold on, and that's part of the problem, right? Holding on, being retentive. Constipation is a big problem in our society. Look how much laxatives are on the market.
Probably, I find maybe especially men, they will hold on.
Women hold on way more
to expressing their challenges with emotions. Yeah, a woman will express more. Definitely, women express more. They feel more, so you see it more. But they release more too. Do you agree? They release more.
From my understanding, they're way more constipated generally than men.
It's not about constipation. I'm talking about the emotions and releasing of emotions. As you go deeper and deeper into releasing your obstructions, women do release more. I mean, they cry more. They express their emotions more than men. Many men, hide their emotions to show that they are strong.
No, because it doesn't bother us.
It does. I mean, there is a challenge, and you see it, but it's hidden. I do see it in men. Many men are sensitive, but many men are sensitive. I know many men who are strong on the outside, but really are very sensitive people, and many things bother them. We think they don't, but they do. So they do have anyways, my point is, I feel women are more humble at showing their feelings than men. Men have more pride to show their feelings. That's just part of nature. Do you agree? The expression of emotions? Yeah, I believe so. That's why you see the women more emotional, but that's because they express.
Yeah, the physical aspect of fasting is simple. Not easy. It's simple. It's the emotions that are what keep people from living the lifestyle. Otherwise, they would continue doing it, right? It's the emotions, the turmoils, it's the ancestral stuff that starts coming through. So much, everything comes to the surface that's imbalanced. Everything. And we must be ready and willing to have our intent and emotion go in the direction of balance and, eliminating all these imbalances, all these obstructions, or we're going to end up back to where we were.
It's basically,
I've seen it over and over and over and over again. People that completely restored their health went back, and some of them aren't around anymore because they just emotionally, I don't know, maybe it's not for their experience to be in that state. So they had to leave the physicality that way so they can experience it for soul experience. But moving on to better things, I know that anybody can do it because we've seen what's possible. It's just a matter of wanting it bad enough so we don't allow our friends, families, partners, co-workers re-influence us to go back to lower field strength. And that's a big problem. Peer pressure, whatever we want to call it. It's a big, big challenge. Especially when you have a partner that's completely in a different path. Like what we've seen in this past almost year and a half now. A lot of divorces because of choices and pressures from partners. Divorces are record high this past year and a half.
Yeah, it's more because also people are living together much more than ever.
Yeah, divorce lawyer said he's been busier more than ever in his whole life. So it's some interesting times. Very interesting.
It's either people make it together or they don't. You know?
But belief systems get in the way.
Yeah, it's important to remind of us why we are together and our priorities, and if it's truly peace, balance, and correct conduct, then I mean, peace, balance, and correct conduct is more than just a word, a sentence. It's a lifestyle. And that's why I do like people who follow a religion, but really religiously, making it a strong, the basis of their strong spiritual foundation. It is super important, in my opinion, because it becomes part of their lifestyle. And I have seen many people living, using their religion as their lifestyle, applying it into their lifestyle, and it's just absolutely beautiful. Making our creator the priority in our lives is something you don't see very often in the Western world, which has infiltrated into the Eastern world too. So it's everywhere, pretty much. When you talk about putting our creator as the priority, people laugh. And when I talk about these things, it doesn't mean that we should expect the people who follow, um, who practice strong spiritual, like religion, a strong spiritual practice is what I call, religion. It doesn't mean that these people have to be perfect, so this is another thing. You see many people say, oh well, well, these people do these mistakes, well, they're people, we're imperfect. But you come and talk about it, the foundation is clear, the spiritual foundation is clear, and that's what matters. I mean, of course, applying it is very important, but at least if you forget, you go back to it and you remember very quickly, well, what's peace, balance, and correct conduct. It's absolutely beautiful. It becomes part of your lifestyle, everything that you do, everything. um it's it's a little bit, yeah, it's lacking in most people's lives, including me. I liked it for a while, and I came back to it with Masterfast. 3 years into the Masterfast, that's 3 years ago, I decided to start practicing again and build my spiritual foundation again. Now, am I perfect? No. So please don't hold don't hold me, and point finger at me and say, "Oh, you see, you're not, you what you're doing is wrong." I am not perfect. Never said I am perfect. I strive. I make it a goal to do my best. I don't always do my best, and that's just me. But everybody else has their journey as well. Yeah, people are stronger on their own, Barbara. People are stronger on their own. They have than they have been in the past. But having a partner you can love, who can love you, that's wonderful gift. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Finding that partner who I think the most important thing in a partner, to be honest, is the sharing a strong spiritual foundation. It doesn't have to be the same religion. It doesn't have to be, because all, you know, holy religions would teach you peace, balance, and correct conduct. So you can have your space to pray your way, but the foundation is strong and it's very similar. And I am sure we all agree on the foundation, because we have it in our hearts. We know what's true and what's not. It's the truth, really. That's putting our creator as the priority, meaning putting the truth as the priority. And it's impossible, really, to argue against argue about the truth, what's true and what's not. It's almost impossible because we all know it. Yeah, of course, if you come from different religious practices, it can be challenging, especially when someone is more religious than the other one. But definitely doable. And in fact, it is. I think it's absolutely amazing to see, for example, a Christian and a Muslim or a Jew, come together and become partners and start a family together, or a Buddhist too, right? Or why? Because it makes you so tolerant and so understanding of other people, and remembering that it's really all about the truth, putting the truth as the priority, putting our creator as our priority. beautiful. I feel, the topic of the creator is the most beautiful topic. It's the most beautiful. Yeah, it's like you cannot. It's the truth, right? And part of the truth is everything: our fasting, our eating, um, keeping, just peace, balance, and correct conduct. I feel that's the like the purpose we are here. Why are we here? For material stuff? To make more money? Or to make money at all? Yeah, why are we here? Definitely not for that. To pay our bills, to pay whatever we have to pay.
We're here to breathe and to eat.
Eating is yeah, to a certain extent.
Unto the divine. Everybody's quiet today.
Are there any questions somewhere else? Yeah, Barbara. The song Nature Boy, the greatest thing we will ever learn is how to love and expect love in return. Yes.
I don't think we need to expect love. Um, just love without any expectations. It's going to come back. You don't have to expect it.
Yeah,
The
you
Creator
earned.
continues to give all His love. I'm saying His, but that energy source, all the love, and does not expect anything in return. In fact, people in this realm choose to what? Ignore, criticize, etc., 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 the divine, and the divine continues to give without judgment, keeps that plasma love always flowing. Without question, never fails. It's a beautiful thing. Doesn't expect anything.
Yeah, but at the same time, you know, I think it's very important for us to remember it was accept love in return. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Um, you know, yes, maybe we are not like, let's not expect anything of anyone. It's hard, because sometimes you work hard, you feel like you want whoever you're working with to give a little bit more, maybe just
And,
maybe to equal what you're giving. But
and
you know what, honestly, I feel like you are loved beyond even your imagination. You are taken care of. When sometimes people, partners or anyone, okay, and like there's a conflict between two people, and one says, oh, you're jealous, okay, or someone tells you, oh, you're jealous of that mm, man or woman or whatever. um I feel like yeah, I feel it's pretty sad that we have to talk to each other this way. to tell other people, oh, you're jealous. um why would you even say anything like that to anyone, someone, if somebody is feeling a little bit down, what we want to do is assure them that they are loved, instead of assure them that they are doing something wrong. Assure them that they are loved because there's a little bit of lack, you know they are tired. Maybe people get tired, we all get tired once in a while. So we're gonna call each other, oh, you're jealous of this woman or this man. um it is pretty sad that we have to talk to each other this way sometimes, and we do, sometimes, some of us. um so yeah, that's something we definitely want to improve, I believe, because yeah.
Anytime we expect something, we will be disappointed.
hmm yeah, yeah.
Don't need to expect
It's what I
anything.
want. Maybe the only thing for me that would hurt is the trust. You trust someone, you give so much, you give so much and you trust. I think that the trust is what hurts the most, more than um forget jealousy or this or that. It's more the trust. You want to feel that you trust the man or the woman that you're partnering with in any way, marriage or business or anything. Because once this trust is gone, it's hard. If you feel that the man or woman that you are partnering with is lying to you over and over, it's hard. So that's something we definitely want to work on, to be honest with each other, and work together so that there's no mistrust. Be transparent, be open as much as possible, and avoid judging each other, because that hurts, especially when it's hurting and then gets judged. It's pretty hard. Yeah, life, there's so much to learn for all of us. Nobody's perfect, so let's just get it over with and admit that part. Let's get it over with and admit that we are not perfect, and then we can work on ourselves. So well said, Rana. I still need to learn how to deal with accepting pharmaceuticals to stop pain that you are supposed to take with food, and how to do the master fast system.
Um, these meds are one of the biggest problems in our modern society right now, steering humanity into the direction of imbalance very, very quickly. Pharmaceuticals in general open us up to low field strength energies. They can, come in and take over, specifically and especially the psychiatric drugs are the absolute worst. But all pharmaceuticals, pretty much, all these isolates will open us up to those lower field strength, darkness, or whatever you want to call it. So we have to make the choice. Do we trust in source? Do we trust in our soul? Or we don't? And if we do, then we have to have a plan, a prudent, wise plan on how to wean ourselves off of this crap permanently and never look back. Because only take a peek to remember where we came from. Because to find balance with ingesting these things is absolutely not a possibility. We must let them go. The body
Yeah.
will dump everything and anything it doesn't want, need, or can use. And that's why a big problem for people that don't have the faith when they go to Skin and Bones. And what do we say? If you lose weight fast, you need to fast more because the understanding is clear for us, but it's not for people looking at the physicality of them wasting away. They're, that's the belief system that they're wasting away. But the body doesn't waste away when you're prudently fasting.
Yeah, and it's pretty challenging, okay? Not to accept your weight loss. Trust me,
Hi,
it is
Elaine.
very, very challenging. Hi, Elaine. It is very challenging to accept your weight loss. I mean, if you remember, Marine, he did the 1 year and then like broke it with smoothie, 1 year master fast with no food, and then broke it with smoothies, and then went right back into master fast after maybe a few days or weeks. Um, and he continued, and he did that for I think 2 years before we kind of uh, we were not so much in touch with him right now. Um,
We're
he's
not in
not.
touch with them at all.
Yeah, he's not on Facebook. I tried to message him the other day. But yeah, so Marin, for the first 2 years, he lost a lot of weight, and he was not happy about it. Even though he was like on pretty much his deathbed, and he was not happy about it. So you can imagine somebody who's not on their deathbed.
It's the
It's
biggest
gonna be
complaint
hard.
for people
It's yeah, it's your looks.
because there's
Even
no
if you're
faith.
even if you're sick, it's not about like, okay, nobody's perfect, and you cannot expect anyone to have a very strong faith. Even Marine was doing this from his heart, of course, and he wanted to get out of his deathbed and live a life. It was hard for him. So imagine the average man or woman who are not on their deathbed. It's gonna be even harder for them to fight and to keep going, right? So it's very understandable. You will get criticized by everyone, by yourself too. You look in the mirror and you'll be like, holy crap, I lost so much weight. You'll be criticized by your partner. You thought your partner is supportive, but then he's or she's saying you look like someone in a concentration camp, whatever, jokes or stuff
That's
like
where your
that.
faith has to be there.
Yeah, I know, but like
Yeah, but I know nothing. It doesn't matter what anybody says or
uh
thinks. You have to have the faith. And how's the faith going to come? Through many experiences, little by little by little. And that's why supporting each other and inspiring each other and continuously going on that path, living and loving it is the way to do it.
yeah,
Otherwise,
sure, yeah, you
on
have to
your
have
own, it's gonna be very tough for
challenging.
somebody challenging. Like, what did I do? I didn't have uh, anybody to go to or anything when I was going down this path. I went to Skin and Bones, and I go, okay, this is what it is. Let me keep going. I didn't think anything else
And
about it
still,
because
if you do a long fast again, you will lose more weight than when you're eating. You still lose. Maybe not as much as many other people, but you still lose. And at some point, somebody will tell you, you lost a lot of weight, and then it will make you think, oh, do I look really that bad that many people are commenting? So it will come to you. It will come to you. It will bother you, but it's okay. It's just part of the journey. Maybe give it 2 years, and maybe work out and start building your body, because that speeds up the process of moving things around, and releasing from the entire body. So it's just I feel workouts do speed up the process, and you build muscles, which is absolutely beautiful. I feel you know when we start eating and we put on some weight, some people think we're healthier. And I say, like Gino, he did his 40 days, of mainly dry, not too long ago, and he lost quite a bit. Okay, maybe you were at the lowest ever, right? And then just a week ago, someone told him, someone close, family member, told him, oh, you must be eating because you put on some weight, some muscles. I'm thinking, muscles? I said, I said, you mean inflammation? You know, me too, by the way. Huh? Well, when so muscles, mm, no, that's not muscles. I said, in fact, you have more muscle definition when you start fasting. You see your muscles more. Otherwise, it's more like water, you know, or whatever it is. Um, so yeah, but people, you know, that's the average person. They don't really know, but we know better because we have been through it many times. We don't know everything for sure, but we have been through the ups and downs of, you know, weight, fasting and eating. And yeah, when you're eating and you put on weight, it's because you're inflamed. And when you fast and you like, you know, your body releases, it's releasing inflammation, it's releasing obstructions which are causing inflammations. So yeah, but it's hard. When you lose weight, you get criticized, right, left, and center. If you live in the city and you're surrounded by people, you're gonna be criticized. You know, if you're working, you're gonna be criticized by your coworkers or your clients, and you're gonna hear it nonstop. And then maybe they will talk about you behind your back if you have many of them. If you're working with many people, it's just
Guaranteed people talking behind your back.
yeah, yeah. Family members, maybe they will talk about you behind your back because they're worried about you. But when you do it over and over, they'll get bored. They get bored, and they will think, okay, she knows what she's doing, or he knows what they're doing because they're still alive, and so why do we need to worry? And then soon they will be like, oh, I feel so tired, I ate too much today, or you know, and you'll be like, yeah, well, you know, I know how you feel. There's another way that feels much better. Yeah.
Paula, you and this group inspire me to keep going on this path of less is more. Plasma love always flowing. Pure heart, universal love. We are all connected to everyone and everything. Absolutely. Thank you. And you being here is awesome. Every call pretty much, Paula. It's awesome to see people uh, that are inspired to live and love it. That's really an awesome thing to see because, like I said, in these three plus decades, it's not many people have chosen a fasting lifestyle. People will dabble it into it here and there and expect the world to change instead of making it a journey, a spiritual journey, a lifelong journey without a destination. There is no destination. You're not going to have a destination with health. It's a journey. It's a choice of journey
Mm.
to move in the direction of balance, which is constantly changing its form, and we have to make adjustments here and there. And that's the way it is. Just look at how nature works. There's nothing stagnant in nature. Absolutely nothing. Everything is always changing and adapting and correcting,
Yeah.
always moving towards balance. Everything. Just look at nature.
It's beautiful.
All the answers are in plain sight. You can't
Four seasons.
escape the truth. Isn't that an amazing statement? We cannot escape the truth. We can dive in the illusion of deceit, but we can't escape the truth. What have people been doing all over the world? trying to escape the truth, right? And look where we're at with all the science and all their so-called intellect and knowledge. Look at where we've gone. It's absolutely ludicrous. Can't escape the truth. The truth will hit you right in the face. The mirrors of truth are there. And you can, try and force to bend the truth or change the truth, but it's impossibility. Not going to happen. Not going to happen.
And that's beautiful. Yeah, the truth will always win. We come from the truth, and that's what feels best for everyone. So it's beautiful that the truth always wins. You don't need to do anything; it will win, and you will love it because that's where you come from. It's just natural to love it.
Let's elevate all souls that they may see the light of peace, balance, and correct conduct and move in that direction. Let's be that change that we want to see. It's what they call a lonely path, but you're not alone. The divine is always there by our sides when we choose the path of peace, balance, correct conduct, moving towards the divine creator. Moving away from that is almost an impossibility. But when we choose to move away from it, we will find ourselves in a very imbalanced state. We'll be scratching our heads with all that science and everything. How come we can't fix these things? Because they're not fixable with science. They're fixable
with the truth.
With the truth of the soul, of Creator. Simplicity.
Going back to nature. The way the Creator designed it,
Nature's nature's problems are always a reflection of what man is doing to nature. Always. Like, look at what they're doing with the weather now. You don't think they can control the weather? Oh, yeah. They've been doing it for a long time. Long time. Barbara, how do we buy more tinctures from you and kidney tea? On the MFS website.
The shop page.
Master Fast System. Let me give you a link so you have it.
Yeah, masterfastsystem.com. Go to the shop page.
Give me 1 sec here.
You were talking about pharmaceuticals earlier.
What happened?
Yeah, you can just type it there. There you go. Yeah, when you type it will take you to the page. You can go back.
See.
Okay, yeah, so you were talking about pharmaceuticals earlier, and it came to my mind, our food and our water and the air too. I believe they're also, they have been, bombarded with chemicals and unnatural substances. So even if you're not taking drugs, I believe we're drugged up if we're not really watching. I totally believe like we can be affected by these chemicals in our food, water. I mean, and genetically modified food. God knows what this does to our bodies. That's not chemicals, but that's like modification of the genes of the plant. Like for example, the wheat. We know how uh, harmful it is to the digestive system to eat the standard wheat because I think uh, what is it? I forgot, but it has been very genetically. Yeah, the level of gluten I think is 30% higher in the GMO wheat, and gluten is just a very hard to digest, I believe, protein, and it just damages our intestines. So this is just one thing that's genetically modified, but so many foods are genetically modified, but then the chemicals that they add to our food, and then the water, the treatments and all that, and the air. So it's at the end of the day, really, it's very important to watch everything these days. It's not that easy for us to live in harmony with nature anymore. So you can be drugged up without taking drugs.
Everybody is. Did you get that link, Barbara? I can't see it here. I pasted it, but all drugged up and no place to go.
The only way is to just keep cleaning up and releasing the obstructions, and I mean, if you can grow your own food.
Marco!
Barbara, I choose not to believe in evil people, just blocked up because of wrong thinking and wrong consuming. That so messes with children. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day,
We don't have to believe, but they do exist.
at the end of the day, the creator created everything, right? And yeah, it's very interesting, how like you don't want the whole thinking to consume you because you want to live a beautiful lifestyle, and you don't want to be thinking about the evil in the world. Hi, Marco. um but yeah, I mean, for sure, wrong thinking, I feel, it's about the distraction from the truth. This is how I see it. Like when we say the devil, Lucifer, the devil and the Lucifer was distracted from the truth.
Hey, Kevin.
Hi, Kevin. Was distracted from the truth, and so um, it's the same thing. Yeah, obstructed. Wrong thinking.
Evil is running rampant on this planet right now. And if we can't see that, I don't know how else we can see. Most people don't see it, and is why they bow down and do things without question. And this is part of the problem and challenge of what's going on now around the world. This sciences, mainstream sciences have always been gatekeeping. Gatekeeping meaning they hide the truth with lock and key so we can't have access to it. But like we said, you cannot You cannot hide the truth. It's always going to come to the surface eventually.
Yeah, and
Always.
yeah, they're hiding things from us because they are themselves distracted from the truth, for sure, right?
We don't have to focus on it, Barbara. Just understand what it is and know in your heart that the truth prevails, the light prevails always, no matter what, no matter how much darkness cannot put out one little speck of light. And that is amazing truth that cannot be taken away from us. So, what do we focus on? We focus on that beautiful light and keep feeding the light so it gets brighter and brighter and brighter. And we can lighten up other souls so they can start shining and lightening up other souls. The answers are very simple, always in plain sight, and available to all of us. Fasting just makes things clear, much, much clearer. You know, when I'm eating or in a fasting state, it's like night and day difference for myself.
Yeah, because you've been doing it for a while and you can tell the difference. For sure. And me too. Big difference. Especially after a long fast, you can feel it.
Choose where you want to go. Nobody else can choose it for you. We all make that decision and we move towards that goal. If it's in line with peace, balance, and correct conduct, you will be a happy camper. If not, your time will be limited to what you believe may seem like pleasure. You know, how many people are entrapped in that materialism, believing that's the way to happiness? Look how many people that commit suicide, for example, in movie stars and so on and so forth, or musicians that had all the money and all the fame, yet they kill themselves. Why? Because there not lies your answer. Jim Carrey said the beautiful thing, something like, I wish everybody could be rich and famous so they can see that it's not the truth. It's not the answer, something like that. You know, he's come a long way.
It's hard. I mean, I think from what I remember, he took so much, psychiatric drugs, right? But good for him to come off and to think clearly after all this,
Society messes with us physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically. We must stay strong and not move from our path to the divine, because that's going to be your strength, your foundation. And that's why living a spiritual fasting lifestyle is going to keep things clear for you on which path you want to go. If you go off that and back into the materialism, back into the addition lifestyle, where are you going to end up? Look back and you'll remember where that took you. Britney Spears,
Yeah,
like
like
Britney
Britney
Spears.
Spears.
What
Yeah,
happened? She
Britney.
killed herself?
No, no, she didn't. But she's going through a really difficult time. Um, with her father, I think, trying to control her and her mom. So she never really was. She's maybe 38 years old, I think, or maybe 40 now. I think
Heather,
40.
hello, beauties. Your eyes look so good today.
Yeah, being so controlled and drugged, and they drugged her up, and the whole thing. But I think she's finding the light slowly. And I think she has a Persian boyfriend, I think, from what I learned. And he probably, I'm sure, probably comes from a good home, and probably one will is helping her,
I don't follow that stuff.
I think that's what I just learned a little bit the other day. But yeah, I think that's what's lacking, coming from a good home. Like I don't think she had a normal upbringing, because she was
She's,
working since she was a little kid, right? Like she
yeah,
never
like
had a
15,
free.
16. I
She
remember
became Oh
she
yeah, she
started getting
became so
famous.
famous as a young teenager.
A lot of people who go to fame start going to see psychiatrists because it becomes overwhelming. And
She got a lot of attention, and also she
yeah,
was like very it was like all basically, you're out there, you're um like you're receiving the wrong attention, definitely, with the way you dress, the way you look, the way, like it's you're receiving the wrong kind of attention. And you're yeah um
well,
that is definitely not the way, right?
Heather, a lot of those suicides and murders, though, anyways, don't want to focus on that anymore. Yeah, yeah, of course, there's that too, but I'm saying there's many people who go towards that, materialism, wealth, and money, and so on and so forth, and they're not happy. That's a lot of them are get on major drugs. Maybe not all of them are going to commit suicide, but there's a big percentage of that happens because people are looking in that materialism to make them happy, and it's not going to happen. Um, it's very, very, very short-lived false happiness when you're, buying things and this and that. Uh, yes.
Mm-hmm. And receiving the, like, for women, maybe looking attractive, for example, that's how she's successful. Some people are successful, by looking good, but that's so materialistic, that's very superficial, that's not deep. You may get what you want for a short period, but then it's not deep enough. Yeah, I think the Britney case is important because it's what is happening to all of us. Yeah, I learned a little bit about her case. I never really heard much until recently. Yeah, it's pretty sad. I think she's a really good girl. Um, and I believe she was always a good girl, but she was maybe getting the wrong attention, for sure. Being that famous, and the way, you're dressed as a teenager, as a young teenager, um, and your parents didn't care. They just want you to go out there and make money. You know, I mean, she was. I think she was one of the most famous teenagers ever, probably. Yeah, she was forced into dressing that way. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, she's a good girl.
How do you
She
know?
still is. You know, there's nothing wrong that came out of her. You hear her interviews, and she was always nice. Yeah, sure, but she was, you're controlled, you're enslaved when you're that famous. You have to follow. And your parents encourage you because they want you to basically,
I
I mean, not all parents, but her
the
parents did, you know.
my understanding of that whole industry, music and Hollywood, it's when you sign a contract, which is called thick, because it's so thick,
Hmm.
you're selling your soul. If you read what's in there, I think I've shared this before.
But she was a
A
kid,
friend of
right?
mine,
She was a kid. So
yeah,
when
with
you
parents,
sign, her parents are the ones who signed her
when
up.
you, a friend of mine wanted to go to these the talent show
Like
things,
idol, yeah.
and he sends me the contract. He goes, "Can you have a look at it?" And we couldn't believe
Wow.
what was in there. Um,
Completely controlled.
they basically want, they will own everything, and it says a line throughout the universe for perpetuity. That's means legally,
Forever.
literally, you're selling your soul. Well, you can
Mm.
laugh at it, whatever, but we've seen this in the contract. So, you know, if you don't believe it's like that, well, okay, doesn't matter. If Bob Dylan admitted, you know, live interview many years ago that he sold his soul. You know, there's a few others as well. And they did it for the fame, you know, materialism. And a lot of them who regretted it. You know, I don't know if you can buy your soul back, but um, forgiveness from the divine is grand. I think he may even forgive the devil himself. But
Yeah,
crazy
I believe
stuff.
you always have a chance as long as you're breathing. I believe you have a chance to have your soul. I mean, we all nobody's perfect, right?
Heather, they are groomed families raised and bred into it. The media will not show the depth of it yet, but when you find it, you will want to dig in. But yeah, it's bad. Oh yeah, yeah. There's all kinds of
You
stuff
can
happening.
find it if you want. Yeah.
It's, Barbara, I saw a documentary where she was very young and trying to tell people her feet hurt and nobody cared because she had another show she had to do. Sad. Hmm. Yeah, the show must go on. Doesn't matter about you. Show must go on. There's a lot riding on these shows. Money wise, they got to keep them going at all costs. And you know, you've heard of cases where you know people have collapsed because they were just completely burnt out. That's the reason why. People died or whatever. So yeah, you know, it's when you get that fame kind of thing, it's there's a lot happens because there's all those fields focusing on you. You know, I had a little taste of it when I started the MFS group in Facebook. It started getting crazy, and you know, and I didn't have an understanding until I started, you know, dealing with all these emotions from people. I can handle all my emotions on my own, no problem. But when you have to deal with other people's emotions, it's a whole other ballgame. And you're dealing by the thousands, man. Oh man, you think it's not going to affect you? It's going to affect you.
Oh yeah.
Um,
It affects
there's
everyone
that
around
woman
you too.
called Supercar Blondie. She said this went through the same thing. She had to go see a psychiatrist. She was getting so famous and she couldn't handle it.
Mm. It's wrong. It's just so wrong. It's too much attention too fast, and uh, yeah, with the internet, we're not used to that, right? It's not natural. Like you don't meet all these people in person,
You know,
but with the internet, you meet them so fast.
we didn't do this with fame. That's why I backed way off and
Yeah.
keep it small.
It's also the fame came also with like eventing along fast, with big transformations. And then people will go back to their lives because that's their lives, right? They're not gonna be living on the Facebook. They have lives, right? And when they go back to their lives and put put focus again on their lives after eventing a long fast, then they're not doing great, and they're shocked. And so after some time, we said, okay, guys, whatever you do, you have to make it a real lifestyle. And there's a structure, and that's all we support here. But it doesn't mean, it doesn't mean that if you want to do long fast, go ahead, do long fast, but please go into it with a mindset of a lifestyle. And I'll tell you from my experience so far, actually 9 years almost of long fasts, I can tell you that breaking a long fast is like, just feels wrong. I'm telling you that much. Seriously, it feels wrong to break a long fast. The body does not like it. So it's best to every once in a while have a little bit, just to get used to eating, so that you're not shocked if you ever eat again, and I think that if you want to live a mainly fasting lifestyle and eat every once in a while, like rarely, then yeah, sure, do that. But like once in a while, I would say introduce some food, because you don't want to shock your body all of a sudden after a long fast. Um, the body doesn't like it. Doesn't like it at all. The transformation is huge. There's no question about it. Fasting breaks our hearts open. I feel that's where it opens our hearts. When you go through a difficult experience in life, a challenging experience, and you transform. That's how it is with fasting. It opens your heart, because it humbles you, right? Because it's a very challenging experience, um, to not eat for a long time, and to not, for example, drink for a long time when we do long dry fasts. It's challenging at the beginning, and it breaks your heart open. It makes you very vulnerable, which is beautiful, because you can open up, and you can uh, be humble enough to ask the divine to guide you. And I feel most people are lack that humbleness to ask the divine for help. They think they don't need to ask the divine for help. Some people say, I am God, or whatever, something like that. I don't need to ask for help. Yeah, I feel it's important to be humble enough. Yeah. Yeah, so it's the openness of the heart that comes with fasting. But just because you fast, it doesn't mean that you're going to be a beautiful human. Trust me, it doesn't mean that. You're not going to be anywhere near perfect. A strong spiritual foundation is still, I believe, more important than the fasting itself. But the fasting opens your heart to practice a strong spiritual foundation. um yeah, but both of them are very important. And there are many people who are, practicing spiritually and beautiful, absolutely beautiful, in every religion. And they don't fast nearly as much as, what we, you know, uh, like as much as some master fasters, and still they are amazing, amazing, absolutely amazing people, amazing spiritual people. They fast, but not nearly as much as we do. And they're still doing great, doing amazing. And then there are people who are doing lots of fasting and dry fasting even. And then there is this missing component, in my opinion. That's the strong spiritual foundation. That God is not the priority in their life. It's not. Maybe they are the priority in their lives. I don't know. But I see a big difference between if you have more that strong spiritual foundation, and when you don't really have a very strong one, like modern spirituality, I call it, kind of thing.
Heather, oh yeah, I wouldn't be here without Divine. I owe my life. Yep, for some, it's ego trip. Yeah, for many, it's ego trip. It's, and, what's the other word?
Yeah, sometimes attention and things like that, you know, um, people like that. Like, I'm the first one to do this competition kind of thing, you know. But, you know, it's about going inwards at the end of the day, right? So more quietness and less attention and less fame, really, less fame. You know, it's not about the fame. You know, the internet helps us get the word out, but we also have to be. Everybody, I believe, has to be careful with the internet because we can get so much negative energy with what we share.
Somebody's already confused. The internet's going to make them more confused, make him or her more confused, unless they're very specific in their intent and emotion to search out things that are going to help them. But for the most part, just information overload and people jumping from one thing to the other continuously. No focus. So, the Facebook, we use it for master fasting for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
It's
It would be nice to move to Minds soon.
anyway. Where are we here? Heather, I'm really shy about being public. And people kind of prey on me, try to come. Yeah, I think a woman might need a man or a husband to protect them before going public. Yeah, it's we got to be prudent and wise in
Yeah,
things
for
we
sure.
do. So
It's too much. Yeah.
these days, it's we got to be careful. Barbara, I seem to have a problem when the child in me seems stronger than the intellect and integrity. Like I just want some ice cream. How do I grow myself, integrate myself into the best body and mind? What do you guys do to become healthier and happier? We live it and love it, Barbara.
We do
no,
our best. You know,
no,
we
no matter how,
strive to do our best. We don't
no
always do our
matter how
best.
many times you fall, you keep going and keep going and keep going.
Yeah, I learned that from Gino. Actually, he's very persistent. I think that's a very good quality to be
Nobody's gonna
persistent. Get up
move
and do
us.
this. You know, never give up.
Nobody's gonna move us off the train tracks. That's the direction we're going, no matter what. Yeah, we're gonna fall off here and there. We're gonna get back on and keep going.
Barbara, Masterfast lifestyle is what we live and what we promote. And sometimes we don't live because you fall off here and there. That's fine.
Oh,
We're not perfect, but
make the spiritual life the priority.
yeah, what you do, I think, right? You're a Buddhist, right? You're doing a great job with that. But maybe I don't know what's you're looking into more the fasting right now, lifestyle and the cleaner eating. Less obstructive food. Yeah, I would live and love the lifestyle. Just find whatever works for you. We have the 7 different levels. You can, see if that works for you. Some people in the past used to do 1 week on, 1 week off. Some people used to do I don't know, 1 month on, 1 month off, right? Some people used to do, I don't know, 9 days a month, divine nine, I think, 9 cycle. Yeah, find whatever works and make it work. We say fast works if you work it. So it can work for you, but just set your mind and do it. Decide what works best for you. Only you know what is best for you. Sometimes you have to experiment to find out. Um, yeah, the more fasting days, the easier it is, in my opinion, to live the lifestyle. The more fasting days, the less temptations to eat.
I'm
Heather,
trying,
yeah.
sometimes very trying. Yeah, well, that's the problem. We gotta stop trying, just do it. Forget about trying. Trying don't work. Trying is very temporary. So many people, I'll try it, I'll try it, I'll try, and that you don't see them anymore. They're gone.
Why don't you do maybe, do 1 week on, 1 week off, and see how that works for you. I don't know. See whatever works for you.
There's infinite possibilities of different scenarios in Masterfast lifestyle that anybody can make it work for themselves. You just have to find that combination that will, keep you going. For some people, it'll be 2, 3, 4, 5 days a week, whatever. Some people maybe want to do it every couple of weeks, something. I don't know. Everybody's different. But, some people like the long ones and they'll do, 1, 2, 3 longer fasts per year. But the going back to the eating 7 days a week is very, very hard on us. Unless you're eating very clean and minimal. Um, so find your balance. It's going
There's
to be.
also, yeah,
It may be an
the hybrid.
ongoing development and change in finding the balance, and that's just the way it is.
Some people,
It's not that it's not working. It's you got to find your balance.
if you find it challenging, some people, some older people in the past have done the hybrid as a lifestyle because they couldn't see themselves fasting. So maybe look into that. Look into doing the hybrid as a lifestyle. Yeah. Yeah, what do you think? Hybrid? The hybrid also is nice.
Yeah, the hybrid. You're
Like 1
master
meal a day?
fasting for the most of the day. Dry and wet
And then 1
window,
meal a
and
day.
then your one meal is a 3-hour window. But you
Yeah,
still got to do
the
dry fasting cycles, daily, weekly, monthly, season change.
Yeah, do your best. You can always wash your colon if you can do them.
To get any real results, you're not going to see much happening in hybrid. We've had people with, challenges until they let go of the hybrid and went into the, deeper fast. They couldn't resolve their issues because they're so plugged up. And food, even it's fruit, it's not going to clean you out that much, up to a certain level. And if you're really backed up, it starts fermenting and causing different challenges. So that's why when we are purging at the level of MFS, it's such a strong purge. So you start seeing things happen quickly when you are master fasting. But we have to be emotionally ready by us doing our homework and reading, watching videos, so we can have a taste, because that's all we're going to get is a taste for what may come. It doesn't matter how much reading and watching videos, until we start experiencing it, we really don't know. And that's the big challenge, especially the emotions. So stay connected.
Yeah, and you're doing a great job being here every Friday.
Everything's possible, Barbara.
Heather is saying I think it's harder for women for being in public. It is harder for women, right, Gino?
I just spent 179 fruit and some salad. Now the trick is to eat it before it goes bad. Yikes.
Yeah, it's okay. Eat it. Enjoy it.
That's a lot of money on fruit and salad. Wow.
I know. It's a lot of money, but enjoy it, eat, maybe do the hybrid, and then get on maybe full master fast a few days a week.
Yeah, the prices of everything's gone cuckoo. And you're in Florida. Wow.
Yeah, but maybe it depends what you're buying. Maybe you're buying some packaged stuff, and maybe too much. Maybe storing. I don't know. You can be buying a lot of stuff. Packaged fruits, frozen. Organic.
All right, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, if there's anything else, or we can call it a close. It's been a slice. Let's elevate all souls to move in the direction of peace, balance, correct conduct at all costs. Mother Earth is desperately waiting for us to bring ourselves back to balance so she may move in that direction easily and effortlessly, as it's all part of our divine program. We don't have to think about it. We don't have to know how it works. We just allow and trust in soul, and everything goes back to where it's supposed to be. Barbara, I liked it when you did the meditation. Yeah, meditation's great. Group meditations. Not many people are joining, so we can all do
Maybe
meditations on our own. Group meditations are very powerful. If people want to do that, we can do it. We can. Life should be a meditation in motion continuously. You don't need to sit down and do it. It's powerful doing that, but I'm just saying, just when you're doing what you love, and you have the intent and emotion of being in peace, balance, correct conduct with divine higher order. That's your whole life could be like that. Just doing everything you love to do at all times. Put all your love into it. Even things that you don't like to do, learn to love them. Just love them anyway. Why do it and be miserable? Just do it and love it, and you'll see things will turn out much better. So, with that said, we'll see you all on the page. Next Wednesday's the Facebook Live, 3:06. And I missed your beautiful meditation. All right, we'll plan it. I don't know.
Next week?
It's just there's.
Next week?
Next week, maybe.
Next Friday?
We can do meditation. It's just been go, 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 go. There's not much spare time for myself. So a lot of things have been going on this past year. We will come around and ease off and have a little bit more time coming up shortly. Let's stay focused, folks. Let's live it and love it so we can feel freaking amazing all the time. No matter what. No matter who says what. It won't matter, because we know the truth's in our heart. When we're living it, loving it, the experiences will show you very clearly. And let's keep that plasma love always flowing, folks. Ciao for now.
Ciao.